Pray that you just continue to open those doors for us and help us to be servants to this community, to all those who are in need. We ask a special blessing on this meal today, and those who prepared it for us. We pray all this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. For the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated. We are so happy that Patty Beth is back because now we're back to the a rotary song by Patty Beth.
I guess I'm going to let you sit down and sing this. This is the County Commissioner's favorite song. So let's have those words up there. Every commissioner goes to work with his fingers crossed and sings On the Road Again. Okay, here we go. Are you ready? On the road again. Just can't wait to get on the road again. The life I love is making music with my friends. I can't wait to get on the road again. On the road again. Going places that I've never been. Seeing things that I may never see again. I can't wait to get on the road again.
Hey, that was awesome. We could have sang the whole thing.
Great job. Our Sergeant at Arms is Mary Richardson. On the dice. Much better.
I'm back. So last week you were all so kind to me. Today was a little half-hearted, so I don't think I'll be doing this next week. Just saying. I was only up for 2 weeks anyway. Okay. Hello, Rotarians and guests. Raise your hand if you are left-handed. Left-handed. Okay, everybody, look around. Is that it? Whoa. Whoa. Okay. That is definitely not the statistic. Because they say 1 in 10 people are left-handed. So that was quite a few less in our group today. So did you know that men are more likely to be left-handed than women? And cats, male cats are left-pawed more often. So if you have a cat at home that's a male, check them out. They may be using their left paw more often. Fun facts. So last week I didn't give you any facts, but this week we're going to have fun with some facts. So just bear with me. Okay, they don't know why people are left-handed. They really don't. There's some theories, there's some scientific studies. They think it might be genetic, brain wiring, or maybe it's just nature's way of keeping things interesting. But let's dive into some lefty pride, because I am left-handed too. And why are we talking about this? Well, today is International Left-Handed Day. So yay for those 4 of us, I think, in here who are left-handed. So all the rest of you just don't understand. Because if you're left-handed, the struggle is real. Let's talk about spiral notebooks, pain in the butt, smudged ink when you're writing, depending on how you're taught to write, you smudge your ink. Scissors are basically a medieval weapon. I mean, scissors just hurt my hand. Every time I use them, they make right-handed scissors, or left-handed scissors. And don't get me started on can openers. Can openers are awful. They are made the wrong way for the rest of you, because you probably didn't know that. So the world is built for right-handers. The word right is associated with being correct, proper, moral. The word for left comes from Old English for lip, and it means weak. Weak. And so here's some cool things though. Left-handedness is associated with brain differences. It's really kind of ironic that lefties are supposedly right-brained. But that is the side of your brain that is creative, artistic, and intuitive. So raise your hands again, left-handers. So Judy, yep, she's creative. Jim, yep. Bud, yep. Okay.
Jan.
Yay. Who else?
Dan.
Oh, Jan. Oh, and Joe. Okay, there's more of you. Okay. So many artists, musicians, and scientists and writers are lefty. Yes?
How many people use both?
Oh, good point. How many people are ambidextrous, who use both hands? I am. And part of that, look, there's some lefties in there. Part of that is because in our generation, or my generation, I went to a school where they were trying to force me to use my right hand. They didn't want me using my left hand. And so I learned to do things with both hands. And when I learned to play tennis and golf, my dad would just, set me up and show me. Well, it was right-handed, because he didn't remember I was left-handed. So I did lots of things with both ways, which is actually can be a plus, as you will see, because they say that it's awesome if you're in baseball, or boxing, or tennis, or fencing. It can be a real attribute, because they're not expecting you to come at them with the other hand, with the left hand. It's a surprise. And in medieval times, the best warriors, 27% of the warriors were left-handed. A left-handed person got picked to do that, because in battle, you didn't expect them to swing at you or come at you with the left hand. It was a surprise factor. So that's the way that left-handers kind of rose to the top in the societies where they had warriors. So whether you're a lefty or can see who are the lefties here in the room, we are underdogs, but we stand tall and proud together. And today, as I said, is International Left-Handers Day, so celebrate your fellow Rotarians who are left-handed. Thank you.
Our Rotarian today is Carl Jobst. Carl here today. Cater is the Drift and the Taco Bar. Wonderful job by the Drift. If you have any special announcements, would you please make your way to the stage? We do have a club board meeting following at 1 o'clock. No one has any special announcements? All right. Our meeting today is David Poindexter, our Delaware County Commissioner, and he is being presented by Barbara Barnes, and she would like to make an announcement of sorts. So if you will, please welcome Barbara and David.
Hello, everybody. I'm proud to be here today with my fellow cohort in crime. Just kidding about the crime.
We're above board.
Yes,
Don't give them any ideas.
we are. So we try to manage and keep control of the courthouse and the county, and I think we do a pretty good job, don't you, David?
I think so.
Yes. And I love, you know what I love? My historical books. So I brought several back here today for you to look at. They're in excess of 100 years old. There's some births and deaths, and there is an Indian petitioner's book that talks about the removal of the tribe, Cherokee tribe from the south. Very interesting. So I'd like you to step back when you get a chance and take a look at those. They're amazing. I'm getting a lot of those restored and in new covers. But the reason why I'm up here is I would like to introduce our dear chairman of the board, David Poindexter, my best friend. Put your hands together for David.
First off, I want to say thank you for having me here. I appreciate your time. Hear me out. Just kind of give you a little bit of an update. Oh, it's a little better. Okay, sorry, I didn't want to blast everybody. Just for starters, I gave you a little bit of a background on myself. I'm a lifelong resident here in Delaware County. I was a graduate of Grove in '96. So there's a few of us around here that's been here forever. Yes, there you go. This county has grown leaps and bounds since I've been a kid here, and that's a good thing. To me, I'll just kind of give you a little backdrop. I was the first kid customer in McDonald's. When McDonald's, that's a big thing for us, and Mom's like, don't run over the old guy into the door, just let him be first. I let him be first, because I wanted to be the first customer. I was like 10, but that was a big deal for growth. you know, and the growth in this county has just, this last 2 or 3 years, is just really, I've seen it just firsthand. I mean, I know we all see it. I mean, in the line of work, a lot of us have been from law enforcement, you know, banking, to just construction, everything. And you see it everywhere. But this county, we have kind of tie in, I know, with the premises to the new fairground facility. We have outgrown a lot of our things, a lot of the facilities in this county in heartbeat, really, lack of a better term. And this was kind of coincides with our dispatch center. Same deal with that. We have multiple PSAPs, consolidated that. And same with our fairground facility. Our facility we currently have, I think, Barbara, help me out, wasn't it late 60s, early 70s when they opened it, if I remember correctly, somewhere right in there. So, you know, it's 55-plus-year-old facility. I mean, it was small when I was, you know, I'm from ag background. It was small when I was, gosh, I did myself 30 years ago. So, you know, so we needed an update there. And kind of what tied with this together with expansion of 59 highway going to 4-lane, which they should start next year. It's supposed to be let this spring and this construction starts. So don't shoot the messenger if they don't, but that's what they're supposed to do. So, but the part of that issue was where our current facility is now, the right-of-way that was going to come in was going to take half the property away. So we basically would have lost all our parking because our thought was at first we would build a new facility at current location. Well, when the right-of-way, when ODOT comes to us and say, hey, this is where we're going to make the new easement on your part, well, you know, it's just, there it is. Okay, well, we're out. So, we kind of looked around, and Jay Public Schools had 30 acres for sale that coincided right with the Jay Industrial Park, which, luckily enough for us, with the old facility, it just runs, the only thing we had for water was its own independent well, which was the water wasn't really to drink much. It's just old there. I'll just kind of leave it at that. Where with the industrial park, there's water, gas, there's the utilities there to hook up to have a modern facility that we can have, like for our animal projects there for the kids on their FFA projects, you know, proper wash rights, things of that. The tools the kids need to do a proper project. And I mean, in the end, that's what this facility is for, is investment in these kids in this county. I mean, you state growth by itself. There's 65 kids in the 4-H class, there's 85 kids in FFA, and I know, I don't have the numbers for the other schools off the top of my head, but I know each one of these other school districts have a pretty strong showing in the ag side of things. But we designed this building to be more, not just a livestock building show barn per se, but it can be used for an event center. One thing we didn't have as a county is anywhere for adequate training, like if all the sheriff deputies want to get in one place to have kind of some schooling classes, same thing as those road districts. A lot of OSU classes that they have, like for county, kind of, what's my word, contingent education, I can't remember all the acronyms off the top of my head, but a lot of that now that we have a facility here now that we can co-op with 2 or 3 of the counties around us and go to OSU and say, hey, we can have a class here where at current time, I mean, the closest one usually has Tulsa, which isn't a bad drive, but a lot of times they're in Woodward or, you know, Muskogee or something like that, which, you know, it's doable, but some of them are 2 or 3 day classes, so you're time, money, you know, so there's some savings there that we can look at, I think will help us as a county and our neighboring counties as well on things of that nature. But to kind of give you a backdrop, our new facility is a little over 37,000 square feet. It'll hold around about 1,000 people. So one of our first events we're going to have is I saw Nick somewhere around there a little bit ago. But oh, there you go, hey, brother. We're working on the parking lot this week. It should be done the next week, so we'll be good to go for REC Day on September 11th. Right? Okay. Completion date for the building should be October 31st. So we were hoping to have it done before the fall livestock show, but we didn't quite make it in time. So, but there is some t-shirts. I think you can, I forgot what they are. What's it called? $20 or something like that. But it says last show at the old barn or something like that. It's kind of cool. So I've got one of those. but just to have, in the end, this facility, like I say, it's for the, it's an investment in our kids. I know for myself, I come from an ag background, and, it teaches you, work ethic, showmanship. It's kind of like a job interview in a way. It's kind of, you go out there in that ring, and everybody's, sitting there staring at you, kind of like, like this here. And it's kind of the first life step of, hey, this is my progression in life, building those skills as, as a young adult that they're going to need out in the real world. And I know for myself, that part instilled more in me. At the time, I never thought I'd be doing this. And, I remember when my father was commissioner, I'm like, we're never going to be in public service. And here I am 30 odd years later. So, the world has a weird way of working out. But no, that's where we thought with the facilities we had, with the right-of-way, that was what we needed. And to kind of give you a funding aspect of this, we, as a county as a whole, received a little over $8 million. The bulk of that funding went to our 911 PSAP consolidation, but when we applied for a grant to Oklahoma Emergency Management, it was a 80-20 grant, or 80-20 match grant for $1.4 million. And what that funding we applied for was to purchase all the consoles, all the computer equipment within the 911 facility itself. And we, for lack of a better word, we went to, they have their monthly meeting down in Oklahoma City, the Capitol, and myself and our emergency management director, Jeff Reeves, we went down and basically just lobbied for us, for Delaware County. And we received it. It's the largest grant ever awarded by that board. And I don't like beating on the drum, I know it sounds politicians, but I am proud of that. That was a huge win for us, because what that allowed us to do, that took, basically we received $1 million back after what we paid in on our part via the ARPA funds. So we applied that $1 million towards this project. So as a whole, the whole project's $4.8 million for this fairgrounds facility. As far as you and I's tax dollars, what I would call our money, we're about 20% of it. The rest is either ARPA funds, CARES Act. It's all outside funding that, ultimately in the end, we pay those in taxes. I don't want to get off into weeds on that, but I call it, we're sitting on house money, per se, for the bigger bulk of this project. And that was, we tried to utilize those dollars as much as we could, because, we'll probably never see something like that again. I know it's kind of some odd circumstance that will come about. Big ones, maybe. But I think in the end, this will be a facility. It can be utilized more than just livestock. I know we've got some folks that are interested in putting on some kind of like a craft show, things of that nature. I know just kind of give you a rundown. We never did. Oh, you can click pictures anytime. Sorry, but that's what I say. I told you, don't even give me the clicker, because I'll never think about it. That's kind of the rendition there, what it'll look like. Like I say, you just kind of scroll through if you want to. And then that was the property where adjacent to the industrial parks to the north on the top side of the picture, the J schools to the south. And that's kind of some of the schematic drawings of the architectural side of things. But you can kind of see, go back up this corner, boss. You can. If you get a cycle on through, no biggie. But you can it's got enough open floor space that it can be utilized for many things. And that was kind of the biggest deal. I looked at it for myself and the board as well. We wanted to make it a utilitarian building that, you can maximize for the dollar spent, we can utilize it for more than just one thing. That was the big deal. We've got, I know, we've got our old facility, it would only hold maybe 400. And I know the fire marshal got on to us one time, because we had more people there that bought tickets, but we had to turn them away, because they're doing the head count, and we're over, where this facility here over 1,000, right at 1,000. So, like when we have usually a spring and fall buck out, those have been big turnout, and a big revenue for us that way. But like I say, I know I'm kind of beating the drum, and it's great to have those kind of little revenue streams coming in, but ultimately, I know, being from a lifelong resident here and coming through the school system of this county, that you're investing in your kids in the end. And I know, I know for myself. I'm not married, I don't have any kiddos, but I don't care. This is this is my hometown, my home county, and I want to just try to help it the best I can in any way I can. And I thought, well, if this is a way we can help with, with the kids throughout the county, and that's, to me, that's more. You got to give the kids the tools to work with and excel as best they can, and then whatever endeavor in life they so choose, we'll work hard to. But outside of that, that's kind of the general rundown. I can sit up here and go on forever, but if you guys got any questions, comments, fire away, boss.
What will be done with the old barn property and then rodeo grounds there? Will there be a new rodeo outdoor setup at the new location?
That part of the old one, I would say, I can't speak too much because if we're going to make a vote on it, but just, I would say we'll probably sell the property more than likely because it's with the right-of-way acquisition that ODOT, it's really skinnied it up. It's such a long sliver of land now that's not going to have a lot of use for us per se. So I would say we'll do something of that nature. So
when do you expect it to be done, and what's the square foot?
a little over 37,000 square feet at the end of October. Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yeah, I know, I don't want to blast everybody.
excuse me.
Sure.
I was a master gardener in Tulsa County for 17 years. Will the OSU have a master gardener?
Yes, I'm sorry, I must remiss, there was OSU, their offices will be housed in this facility. I'm sorry, thank you for reminding me. They were getting a little cheat sheet out, so I knew I probably missed something, I didn't set that out. Yes, OSU offices, the extension offices will be there. There's classroom space for things of those nature like that. So yes, that was kind of the goal of that part, to give them the facility to use for that. Yes, ma'am.
Do you have an active master gardener group now?
I believe we do. I'll admit, I'm not the most versed on all her programs per se, how active, but go ahead.
Well, I've asked because when I moved here, I wanted to continue to be a master gardener.
Okay.
And I don't have any information.
Okay.
I've talked to people in Tulsa.
Yes.
I used to go teach in Rogers County.
Okay, yeah.
As a master gardener.
Sure.
So I would like more information about if they have a master gardener group, and I would love to be a part of that. And we need people here in Grove that would like to be a part of
Sure,
that.
absolutely, absolutely. Okay, I'll get you in touch with the extension. I'll give her your number, or her number to you.
Question for you about the fairgrounds, since I don't really know anything about it, but when you have the livestock shows in there,
Yes.
do you bring in dirt to put on the floor, or
Yes.
is it just concrete? Okay.
Yes.
And then you scoop it all out when
Correct.
they're out of there?
Kind of give you a little bit how big of a deal this is for our county. In the last 2 years, the premium sale when they have it in the fall, it's grossed $300,000 to $400,000 the last 2 years. So it's a big deal. These kids they put a lot of time and work in these projects, and they take those funds either towards the next project or into college, or wherever they're going to go after they graduate. So that's what you get.
Right now, I believe the only access is coming in off the highway. Are you going to build another access road to the facility?
Yes, we're working on, there's another road on the northeast back side of it over there. We're building that as we speak. It won't be the main entrance, but it will allow flow to make a loop through.
As far as what you can use it for, if Dexam wants to hold a big fundraiser there, for example, will they allow alcohol on premises?
There would be, because like with the bull bug outs, I'm trying to think of what it's called, but lack of a better word, there's a waiver process that we've had that on file that we have sat down with and go with that. But yeah, we can definitely accommodate something like that.
David, we have the depiction on the screen if you want to go over that.
Sure.
In greater detail.
Yes, but you can kind of see on the north side of the building is where when you first come in the main entrance if you look to your right, that'll be like the concessions and kind of the lobby area, and over to the left, your bathrooms and OSU and all that is over to the farther part. And then when you get out into the open, you got 2 wash racks on either end, and it's all flow-through doors all the way from the east to the west side. We have electrical and water hookups on the outside for overflow, because we're probably going to have more than that we can put in it per se, because there's always more. We're growing, like I said, exponentially with this more than, like I said, the last 2 or 3 years it's been 300, 400,000 gross sale, on a premium sale. So we've had a lot of kids participate. So, anyone else?
Is it air conditioned in the big room? And then also tell us about the kitchen.
Well, the main offices and the kitchen area and all that will be air conditioned. We put the big, you can kind of see they look like big ceiling fans. That's what in the main floor area would be fans of that nature. So in the classroom part, you can see that's what the larger room to the north side there, that will be air conditioned as well. So it's a pretty good size for the main floor or the show floor and all that. It's probably twice as wide as this. So it'd be a lot to air condition something.
What about kitchen?
Kitchen. What do we want to know? It's a kitchen. I don't know. I just show up to eat, so I don't know. So, yeah, go ahead.
It's a big deal when you're putting on events. So
Yes,
is it like just a concession kitchen? Are there refrigerators? Is there a stove?
Stove, fridge, yes, I'm sorry. You can.
Is it commercial?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
And we ask that because we have a large fundraiser
Okay.
called Lobster Fest.
Yes.
And that's why she's asking that question.
You bet. You bet.
But if there's no air conditioning, we can't do it.
He said it was air conditioned.
No, the big room is not air conditioned.
The biggest part is
It is not air
bigger.
conditioned.
The other room is though.
No can do.
Hold on, Linda.
It's heated.
It is heated.
The main room.
Yes.
So Dixie.
Yep.
How many people can you seat at the judging events?
1,000.
Are there bleachers or something come out of the ballroom?
Yes.
Hold on, Robert.
I'm done. Can I come up with a different question?
Sure.
No, the question was, is bleacher seating, do the bleachers like fold up to the wall and they extend out? Okay. I couldn't tell in the picture.
Yeah, so this don't, it's separate, we didn't, within the building drawing itself.
So we could sit on the bleachers in the unair-conditioned room in the summer.
Well, let me double check to make sure it is or is not on that part. So, yeah, I don't know.
David, I'm just jerking your chair.
Yeah, okay.
4 large attic fans is what.
That's right.
Okay.
Anyone else? Well, yes, ma'am.
Can I ask a different subject about the roads?
Sure.
When will 250 be paid?
Tentatively, we've got scheduled next year.
Great.
Sir.
Another question about the roads. This spring and summer, you've had a lot of damage from all the flooding and all that.
Yes.
Are you getting any help from the state or federal government on all the repairs you're going to have to do?
Unfortunately, it's limited. There's a dollar threshold for FEMA. It's got to be over $8 million, and it sounds like a lot. But this like a few weeks back, we had 7 inches hit us in J. But the tricky part about it was that yes, it flooded J. I mean, nobody's ever seen it like that before. But it was in such a localized area that the damage dollar amount didn't qualify for FEMA. On the state OEM side, there's some funding revenue there that we've applied for. It's $100,000, so we'll gladly take it, but we have applied for that. We've been on talks with our state and federal legislators trying to see if we can't, if we could ever get declared a natural disaster area like an event like that, then that opens the door for FEMA. If we're not ever declared that, then we're all right. And when I came in office, well, really when I came in county government in 2011, they were starting to clamp down when I first started, it was still like triple bit paper, you know, you just fill it out and turn it in. Or now it's all like an iPad or tablet or whatever. And they want a lot more detailed documentation, which we do. I mean, we timestamp photos, GPS, all that good jazz. So they really tightened that up in the last, 5-6 years. Where, like I say, deals like this, I mean, it's tough. We've got to take it on ourselves and just do the best we can with the funding we have available. So. Yes, ma'am.
Come back to the new facility.
Kevin, I'll just-
Schedule already. We can't hear you.
Is there a fee schedule to use the new facility? Is it in place yet?
I'll apologize. I should have got with the board, the fair board with that to see what exactly their fees are going to be. I know they've been putting a policy together on that, but to exactly give you the hard number, I do not have that from, but I can get that for you. So.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Do you want to? Oh.
Because Pat and Beth brought that song in, let's talk about roads again.
Sure.
So I know when we've talked before, there was a limited budget, but you guys have received some, I think, sales tax relief or something in the last few years. So how big is your road budget and how long into the year does it last you? And then how do we get one of our roads on your list?
Okay, to start with the budget, it's kind of put in layman's terms, basically it's a cash account. And what I mean by that is not like literally, but it's generated sales tax, so it's a monthly. I can project what I'm going to receive monthly and kind of out an average out around for each road district. It's around about $2 million a year to operate on, but that's paying salaries, insurance, tires, fuel, the whole 9 yards. Generally, I'll just speak for District 1, I try to apply for lake access funding annually via the state of Oklahoma. Fortunately, I've received two grants. Basically, they're grants, they're a refund grant. You pick a project and then you do it and then they pay you back kind of thing. Unfortunately, oh yeah, okay, yeah. Well, but unfortunately, this new fiscal year for 25-26, there are no. They didn't fund lake access funding for some reason. I didn't really know. Solid answer why. Another avenue is through our circuit engineering district. They're called materials requests. The maximum there allowed is $50,000. So kind of touch on Carolyn's point there, like with 250 road, I applied for, if it has ample boat ramp, I'm just kind of using this for an example, boat ramp for parking, public boat ramp, you can apply for said project. ODOT comes and reviews it. If they approve it, it's up to them whether they pick it or not. You have no real say, but at least throw your hat in the ring. And I always, every year, I'll throw 3 or 4 projects in there and hope to catch one. But this is kind of coincide with that. The material request grant, I'm going to try to apply that through CED. Tom probably remembers those when he was there. But what I try to do is bundle as much outside funds as I can before I use our tax dollars per se. Try to stretch them as much as I can on said project if I get it. Another great partner of ours is Cherokee Nation. They've been a big help. You touched on the sales tax. Before we had the sales tax that's been implemented, Cherokee Nation is our payment program, point blank. Generally, it's similar, kind of like with lake access, where you get with your said Cherokee council member and say, hey, I've got this road, kind of put a cost estimate together. You don't always get everything asked for, but you don't ask, you don't get it. So I try to pick up at least a mile or 2 a year. Generally, I can get at least one, which don't sound like a lot, but you got to start somewhere. But to kind of give you a little perspective with this sales tax that it generates, coinciding, like I say, kind of trying to bundle some of these other revenue streams together. for District 1, we've paved over 10 miles in the last 2 years, which is, don't sound like a lot, but for us going from 1 or 2 a year to 10, to 5 in a year, that's a lot. We've paved 2 this year. The weather has just killed us on, trying to schedule anything. So that's why I say tentatively, we've got 3 years to spend those lake access funds, so they won't go away. But a lot of it depends on the weather. It's a lot like agriculture. You're at the mercy of what Mother Nature does, and she's going to win every time. So we try to have a schedule of what we try to accomplish. I know for myself in District 1, we just took our traffic counts, our worst roads, and then try to pick those off as systematically as we can, and try to work our way down the list on that. Where I know a lot of folks they live on a gravel road and they love to get paved. I tell all my constituents, I can't look people in the eye and say, I'm not paving your old wore-out paved road and paving a gravel road first. I'm going to try to do all the paved roads first as quickly and as effectively as we can, and then it's going to be a while. I mean, we've had so many for so long that this has been, it's just going to be a long work in progress. But once we get to that point, which it'll probably be after I'm long gone, but then they'll start expanding out from there. So, anyone else? Hope that answered the question a little bit. So.
David, with the changes in FEMA that are being proposed, do you have any idea how that's going to affect Delaware County? Where the funding is going to come from? How you go about accessing that? Are y'all in a state of...
Well, Tom, and that's the kicker with everything's really been turned on its head for a little while. I just can't give you an example with other neighbors, tribal neighbors in District 1 is the City of Cayugas, and they still kind of facilitate their projects through the BIA system. And those guys were this was earlier in the year, and those guys were like, with DOGE and all this come about, they were, everything was kind of under review for a while. But I really think when the new federal fiscal year starts for October 1, a lot of the road projects, funding of those natures, like the bridges and things of that nature, probably FEMA, that's when we'll have a better, clearer understanding of what kind of funding stream we're going to have. Because nobody really has an answer right now on the federal level. It's kind of been a wait and see. So.
Anybody else have any questions for David?
Okay. Well, guys, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Let's give Barbara and David another round of applause, please, for that conversation. And in closing, it looks like the drift's already gone, but let's give them another round of applause. We do have a club board meeting immediately following this. Next week's meeting is Mike Williams from Shaker Law, giving us an update about Grand Lake Monkey Island history. On the tables and chairs, please leave all of them out. Or put them up.
Tables and chairs what?
Put tables and chairs away. All tables and chairs. And then if you'll stand with me, we'll close for the four-way test about 15 minutes early. How about that? In all the things we think, say, or do, is it true?
There is a fair law concerned with the goodwill of their friendships, with beneficial law concerned.
And as Nick said, and is it fun?